How about now? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely better.
Sweet. And then the sideways mic too.
Yes, talk to the side.
Yeah.
Mr. Smooth over here.
All right, let's do it.
You know it's Karma Club, girl. New day, new life. Girlfriend, so wife.
All right, guys, we're back.
All right, guys, what's up? Welcome back to Nicky Rod All Access, the show, the podcast where we're going to be talking about a little bit of everything. So this is episode 2. I believe it's July 2nd, right? 3rd?
Yeah,
July
something
2nd. And I think the hardest part about kind of doing a podcast is just like the talking aspect, especially for me. Like I haven't been much of a extrovert, I guess you would say. The people that like, go out of the way, talk to other people and shit. I'm more introverted, definitely. Like it took me, and it's still taking me quite a long time to kind of learn, how to talk to people. Like I've never been the kind of guy to just like was very vocal at all. Honestly, I was a guy that sat in the back of the class, kind of doing my own thing. I wasn't really, not antisocial, but I was cool with the people I talked to, but I wasn't much of a guy to go around and try to make friends with everybody. And it's kind of ironic because like the career that I'm in now, like I have to be friends with everybody. I have to be nice. You constantly, not that I'm not nice, but I kind of have to, like, it's an obligation to talk to people and be more social as to being, anti-social, I guess, what I was used to. So I was definitely more of a shy kid, growing up. So this podcast is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but, it comes with time and practice. We're going to get good at talking to you guys. So, yeah, it's good to be back and running my own shit. I'm kind of just doing what I run right now. Not many people have their own thing going on, especially at 23
no
years
boss,
old.
dude.
So,
No boss.
Podcast number 2 of 2, and we're just gonna keep it going, man. Keep pumping out content. We're gonna have some guests. We have chairs coming soon, so we'll look a lot better.
Yeah. And then real fast, guys. So we have chairs coming soon. We got merch coming soon. We should have some next merch drop in within about 2 weeks. We have Drama Relax from Interscope Records coming on next Friday, and after that, we'll see who comes on next.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a ton of my grappling buddies, maybe a couple of my modeling friends from Willamita, and just a wide variety of people and careers, and some high quality conversations coming at you guys, most definitely.
And if anyone has any segment ideas, anything they want to ask Nick, just feel free to DM. Hit us up. Let us know what you guys want to hear.
Yeah, definitely hit my DMs, send my messages. I want to know what you guys want to talk about, what you want to hear me talk about. Any questions you guys have me, I'd love to answer them. I'll give you guys more insight on me in general. Who I am, what I'm about, and what I represent.
All right, so let's get right into it, man. We got a little segment for you guys. We're gonna look at dad attacks son, high school wrestling opponent, and we're gonna see what Nicky Rod thinks about that. Here we go.
It's pretty busy gym. Kids are going at it. Cracking pretty hard. Yeah, you want to fast forward to it? Yeah, Jersey's pretty tough with wrestling. Parents are definitely involved in their kids' matches for sure. Getting mad at the pin. Yeah, I've seen this before. I've seen like not so much like this video, like guy goes out on the mat. But a lot of parents will yell, on the sideline. I actually had this one kid's parent. I was at a wrestling tournament. I think it was like, kid was from Delsea Regional High School in South Jersey. And during the match, I guess the kid lost like a close match, and the cop or the guy's parents went off. Like the guy was yelling at the ref, yelling at the other kid. Cop had to step in and pretty much tell the guy to leave. Like he couldn't. It's a high school function. You can't go try to fight everybody over there. Emotions are definitely high. It's hard for the kid, like when your parents so involved in the sport. Like you know, if the parent wants you to win more than kid wants to win, it's kind of counterproductive, because the kid's not gonna if the kid's not enjoying, you know, what he's doing, he's probably not gonna win or not give it his best shot, you know. So that's kind of one thing I was really blessed with. Like my parents kind of just gave me the option to do what I wanted. Like they didn't tell me like I had to wrestle, I had to play soccer, baseball, whatever. I kind of just like sought out these things. Like they definitely gave me room and ideas to where I should try, you know, different sports and different activities, you know, whether that be in or out school. But you know, they weren't like pushing me like they didn't say I had to do this or make me feel any way. Like it's easy for kids to develop anxiety or develop like a certain type of feeling. Like if I've had friends that were pretty much pushed too hard, like in wrestling, really, you know, whether that be like by usually by the parents. So yeah, especially in wrestling, man. Like when you combine like the hard work with the weight cut, and then, you know, you're doing all this with a 14, 15, 16-year-old body and mentality. It's tough, man. It takes a toll, you know, and it can have a detriment of effects on kids. I remember I know going to States and seeing a few guys that were cutting like tremendous amount of weights, and they were miserable. They were like placing and winning state titles, but they hated their life. I was like, that can't be fun. Like I enjoyed wrestling. I can't see myself enjoying something that like I'm draining my body for, or I'm killing my body for, really. So like, yeah, that's tough, man. Having parents that kind of care or just do a little bit too much, you know, in a sport.
Bro, so do you ever have to cut weight for wrestling, or?
Yeah. So like in high school, I cut a good amount of weight. I went from like, I want to say my senior year was my biggest cut. I went from about 195 to 170. I wrestled, and yeah, I was a tough cut because I was pretty lean at 195, but and I didn't know anything about like nutrition, so I was just eating like a peanut butter and jelly a day, and maybe some water and a banana, and you know, that's it. I'd have my 2 workouts a day, go on runs, go on, you know, to hard wrestling practice, and it's like just repeat. So I definitely wasn't feeding my body enough of the right stuff, and you know, I was not so much overworking, but I just didn't have what I needed nutrition wise to like give the workouts my best shot. Like if I knew what I knew now, if I knew then what I knew now, especially about like nutrition and stuff, it'd be a different ball game. I feel like, one, I'm not cutting weight now, you know, for ADCC and stuff, but I do lean out for matches just because I want to look better. You know, it looks better on video and camera when you're just a little bit leaner and shredded, and yeah, it helps you go viral a little bit better on social media. So, you know, right now I just do cuts like that just for looks. But doing a serious cut, like I haven't done a serious weight cut. I guess my last weight cut was actually a event called Kinetic, where it was like a team submission grappling match. We did that in, I want to say, Anaheim, California. It was like me, Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones, Edwin Najmia, and
Rico Coco?
No, another Australian guy, Lachlan Giles. We did like a team tournament at a Kinetic, which is like UFC Fight Pass based thing. So we go over there, and like I didn't know I had to cut weight literally like the day before they let me know, because it was like it was a scenario where the five of us had to equal a weight of like 700 or 800 pounds, something like that, and or might have been even a little bit less, but like pretty much the day before I was leaving, I guess we kind of added everything up, or somebody had a issue with their weight cut where we're like, oh shit, if we all have to like cut like 15 pounds or so like that, and 15 pounds, you know, in like 24 hours or so, it's not the easiest thing to do. And then on top of that, where you're flying, which is, you can't work out while you're flying. You're 6 hours in the air, and then on top of that, you have the scenario where the water retention, right? Because you're at altitude, your body will carry or hold water just a little bit more, you know. So it makes it that much harder for you to, when you do start working out, to get the water out of your system. So, you know, as soon as I landed, check weight, I was like, fuck, still like, you know, I think when I landed in Anaheim, I was still like 8 pounds over. So I literally had to I hopped on like the treadmill or the elliptical that was in the hotel gym. I hopped on that for like, I want to say 40 minutes, right? And I might have got about 4 pounds off. So I did like a pound every 10 minutes, right? Obviously I was sprinting on there for the 40 minutes. Got the weight off. I went with like sweats and actually stole a trash bag out of the hallway trash can. That was in the hotel to kind of toss over my body and sweat more. So did that for 40 minutes, check weight. I'm like, fuck, still like 4 pounds over. And at this point, it's like 2 a.m. Weigh-ins are at 8 a.m. I have time, but I also want to get good sleep. So I'm like, all right, we're just going to knock this out. I'm going to stay up another hour or so trying to get this weight off. So I got rid of the treadmill. I was like, all right, I'm not doing that anymore. I will go back to the room. I turn the shower on hot, right? I open the curtains. I shove a couple tissues in the vent, like of the bathroom, so the steam couldn't get out. Shove towels in the doors, and just made that my sauna. And I literally shadow boxed in there. Did a cycle of shadow boxing and sitting down for about 40 minutes. I got the other 4 pounds off. That was like, it's one of the few times that I've had to like kind of go out of my way and do like a weight cut like that. But yeah, that was pretty tough. That I had 15 pounds in 24 hours or so. It wasn't not the most fun thing you can do. But we ended up winning the tournament and get some good matches from there. But yeah, it was good stuff. Cutting weight's never fun, man. Like I remember like the first time I actually had to cut weight, like my first match in high school was at a tournament called Boardingtown Duels in Jersey. And it's about 2-hour bus ride. I get to the high school like Saturday morning at 5 a.m. because we probably had to be at the school by 7 a.m. or something. So I get to school. I knew I had to make 170 pounds. And the night before I was like 171 or 2, and then I definitely ate and drank some food. Like my first time cutting weight, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just like, yeah, this is food. Like it's fine. So I just ate it, right? And I come back. I get to the school at 5 a.m. and I'm 3 pounds over. I'm supposed to be 170. I'm 173, and we have a 2-hour bus ride. And my coach is like, well, you have to get the weight off. Like I'm like, what do you mean? Like we're about to drive to the tournament. Like it's obviously I can't make it. He's like, no, you're gonna make this weight. And he was like, listen, everybody. He's like, get in the back of the bus, stand up, and you're gonna jog in place these 2 hours until you get there. And until we get there, you're gonna make weight. I was like, all right, like fuck it, let's do it. So I literally go to the back of the bus. Everybody gives me their hoodies and their coats. I load up on jackets. And literally must have had like 2 sweatshirts on and 3 jackets. And it's wintertime, so big puffy jackets. So I'm literally just sprinting in place for 2 hours. I get the weight off. I actually end up losing like 4 pounds on this 2-hour bus ride, just jogging in place. So I get there, I'm like a pound under. Eat, hydrate, and go out, win all 3 matches. I think my team won the tournament as well. But yeah, that was like my first kind of experience, not eating food in a weight cut, but more so like having to lose immediate weight for like a specific time period. So that was an experience in itself. And then after that, I got a little bit smarter. I'm like, all right, I gotta stop like the night before eating so much, or just kind of ask around and learn a little bit. So I just really talk to my coaches and ask their opinion and their, get information like that. But cutting weight sucks, dude. If you don't have to do it, definitely don't. Like I think my senior year, I probably wouldn't have cut weight. Like I wish I went up to the 182 pound weight class. Like I even had success. Like I had more success against the heavier guys in wrestling matches. Like I would jump up weight a lot just to help the team out throughout the year. And I remember beating a kid the year before in regions, I beat him pretty bad. I must have majored him like 8-0, 9-0. And the next year, the guy bumps up a weight class, right? Goes from 170 to 182 and takes second in state. Like the year previous, we wrestled in regions, and I knocked him out of regions because of our loss, or his loss to me. And then next year he comes back and wins it and takes second at 182. I was like, and at that point I was like, damn, maybe there's like maybe I should just stop cutting weight. Like I'm killing myself. Like, and especially like when you're at states or you're at like a 2-day tournament, you have to make weight back to back days. So you make weight and then probably 2 hours later you have to wrestle. So yeah, it's not fun making that shit back to back. And I think like honestly, if I didn't cut it, I kind of ate more or ate what I wanted and focused on just more having fun with the sport, I would have a lot better results in high school. It's tough on the body, especially when you're young. Like it does make you a little bit mentally tougher, you know, if you're cutting weight. But you know, it can definitely, if you're doing it the wrong way, it can hinder your ability in a large way, and that can really have a bad effect on your career and kind of your mentality going into wrestling matches. Because if you're like, man, if I'm cutting this weight, like I know I'm drained. I wonder if this guy's cutting that much weight. Like, is he? You start questioning yourself. It's so easy to do that. You know, that's why like I never miss practice, man. Like if I'm taking a day off, you know, which is almost never. It has to be for a good cause, but like every time I feel like I'm missing a practice, I'm like, my opponents are getting better. And right now it's not even my opponents, it's my practice partners, because they're so much better than me. So I'm like, every time I miss a practice, my practice partners are there and they're getting better than me. They're making my everyday ritual, which is go practice and train my balls off, that much harder, you know. So I literally feel anxiety when I miss practice. Like a lot of this, I guess, yeah, a lot of this comes from like, honestly, when I was wrestling in a club named Seagulls Wrestling Club in South Jersey, they always preached like the time you miss now, you can never get back. And it's so true. Like the times that I'm chilling in the pool, like with girls or something, and I'm like, oh, like I gotta leave to practice, you know, and you don't, and you stay there and you chill with those girls, you chill with your friends, you hang out, and you miss that practice, you'll never be able to get that back. You can always hang out with your friends. That's no deal. They'll always be there to, you know, go party with or whatever. But the time that you miss, you can only put so much time in the practice. Like you can't train 24/7. You can hang out with your friends, you know, 24/7. You cannot. Coach is not going to be available. Your training partners are not going to be available. There's only a specific window on specific days that you can train, and if you're missing that, you will never get that time back. And that's something that kind of always stuck with me. So like, you know, in the days like, you know, in middle school or high school or whatever, when I would miss like a practice, you know, even if it was rare, I'd actually feel anxiety because I'm like, man, when I do go back, I'm gonna fall behind. You know what I mean? Like these guys are getting better every day, and now I'm missing a day, so I'm not. So like it would hinder me, like it would hinder my mentality. So I was like, I gotta avoid this. I can't miss any more practices because I feel like if I'm not getting better, then I'm getting worse. And that's like the only way I saw things. That's kind of the only way I see things now. Like if I'm not lifting, I'm getting smaller. If I'm not practicing, I'm getting worse. If I'm not making money, I'm spending money. So it's like you gotta stay on top of everything. And it's you know, it is the way I live my life. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but this is how I chase everything. I you know, do it every day until you get good at it and just fucking keep doing it. Yeah, so I hope that was a good little ramble for you guys. Kind of went off for a little bit. Not bad for
that's great, bro.
The second podcast.
All right, so let's hit some top threes, man. So who's your top three training partners right now?
So Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones, and then it's a toss up between honestly all the guys in the gym, because we constantly get a variety of guys. We'll get like some of John Danaher's like older black belts, and then we'll get some young bucks to come in. There's so many like guys that you wouldn't think are that good at jiu-jitsu, whether they look like, you know, older or out of shape, that they're fucking killers. Like they, you know, those first 5 minutes before they get tired, it's like this guy's super technical. He knows exactly what he's doing. His timing is great. And there's tons of that at Renzo's. So definitely my top two training partners are, you know, Gordon Ryan and Craig Jones. But then, you know, Ethan Carlos signed.
I was just going to say, bro, shout out Ethan, man. Shout out Ethan, bro. Ethan's a killer.
Yeah. Ethan's a real killer. He's so, like, these guys are all better than me technically. Like I have success in my room because of my size, my speed, my stature, and I just won't fucking quit. You know what I mean? Like I'll just keep moving. But if we're speaking technically, and I take the speed and strength and the aggression off of it, these guys will beat me every time, every day. You know, so little by little we're learning. But man, the variety and the quality of training partners that I get at Henzo's, bro, it's nuts, man. Like every round is tough, man. Even the small guys, like if you're relaxing, you're getting leg locked or what have you. But you gotta be ready to battle. And it's like I constantly, like before practice, I always kind of put my mind in the mentality of competition, because I feel like the more often that my mind and my body is ready for competition, I psychologically put myself there, then the easier competition is going to be, because it's like anything in life, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. So that's constantly kind of my mindset when I'm going into training, really.
And then, so top 3, man, who do you want to compete against next?
When I get to the level that I want to be, I'll be calling out everybody. Yeah. But in the future, I could see me competing against Buchecha, Felipe Pena, whoever else has won ADCC. That's the thing. Like, I've never been one to like study or idolize people. I've been more of like the kind of guy to mimic something. So like if I see something I like, I'll try that, and I'll try this technique or the way they're doing it. But to say I like mimic somebody or I kind of like idolize somebody, it's kind of hard for me to say that, because I've always been more of a self-motivated guy. But yeah, so if I'm picking opponents, it's really whoever has the most clout, really. Whoever's the most popular, I want that, because it's a popularity contest. This jiu-jitsu thing, you have to now, like, of course you have to win. You have to win everything. You have to be exciting on the mat. You have to want people. You need people to want to watch you. But at the same time, if you don't have a following, if you're not important, then nobody cares. You know what I mean? If nobody sees it, then it's not important. So the people that have the clout, I'll be calling them out when the time comes, when I'm physically, technically prepared to beat those guys and beat them in the fashion that I know I can. So
I mean, right now, bro, you're the guy with the clout.
Ain't that crazy, right? It's only been we've been grappling for 2 years. We've probably been pro for a year, maybe. But people don't know how to market themselves. I've studied. I didn't go to school for marketing or anything, but when I decided to become important on social media, I YouTubed how to become important on social media, how to gain a following without paying. Like a lot of these people pay for followers or pay for mentorship. The reality is, especially with internet, like pretty much any information you want to get, you can get it for free online.
Yeah, man, and just to kind of add to your point, like while jiu-jitsu becomes a spectator sport, the clout is one of the most important things. So, a lot of jiu-jitsu fighters out there don't know how to make themselves stand out. And if we want people to keep watching this and we want this to go mainstream, we need people like you who are going to be more aggressive and entertaining.
Yeah, like I remember, I guess the first time I competed with or I saw Gordon compete. Right, every time he was off the mat, he was on his phone posting on social media. But like, so it was kind of hard for me to grasp that, because I used to take competition so seriously, and I still take it serious, but it's more fun for me. Like I enjoy it so much. It's a smile on my face. You know what I mean? I'm out there, have a good pep in my step, and I can't wait to do it again. It's never an anxious thing for me. So when I was watching him compete, right, he go kick this dude's ass, and then he come off and he get right on his phone and he post, like in between matches, posting like 3 or 4 pictures, videos, what have it, of his previous matches, and like over like in that time period where he was competing, he get 10K, 20K, 30K followers just for that one competition. And I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like, as people are watching, you have to produce the content, like especially in those time periods. Like, it's important to post all the time, every day on social media. But if you're a competitor and while you're competing, especially like a tournament, it's super important to post during that competition. Like, for example, right, a huge example is ADCC, going into ADCC, I was like, okay, as soon as I get my bracket, I need to make some photos. So I pick stitch, some photos together. And then I need to, stay on the social media to see who's got videos of me, constantly repost that shit. So in between matches, I was making, I'd make, I made a couple pictures like me versus Cyborg side by side, post that, like got like a ton of views. And then after a match, post a video. And then I did that for every match. So it was like me versus Orlando, me versus Duarte, me versus Ali. And for everyone in between those matches, I post picture, post a video, tag flow grappling, ADCC, whatever else, bunch of hashtags. And it's like in that weekend alone, I want to say I got close to like 80,000 followers. Like it was nuts, dude. It was crazy. I went from like 30K, 30 or 40,000 to like well over 100 in that time period. Yeah, it was, dude, in like a weekend. It's fucking crazy. And then each competition, in between that, I'd post just the same way, and it was the same response. I'd get, obviously not as big because it's not the World Championships, but I'd get the same response. Like everything would just blow up. So if you're a competitor and you're looking to become an eye in the sport, or somebody that people watch, you have to have that social media presence. And a great way to grow it, man, is while you're competing, posting, especially in tournaments, man. Post a couple pictures of videos, like. Everybody, if you can go on YouTube and type in, how to gain following, and they're gonna tell you it's pretty simple, man. Everybody can do it. You fucking post a couple pictures a day, in those in your time slot, where you get the most attention, and then use the hashtags and answer people. It's simple. Anybody can do it, but it's just the fact of doing it.
Yeah, man. It's kind of sad to say, but just jiu-jitsu won't cut it anymore. It's kind of like the UFC. Just, you can be the best fighter in the world, man, but if you got no marketing, you won't be able to make it.
Yeah, exactly. People like something to see. They like a personality. Like, you kind of have to think of social media, especially Instagram, as like a reality show. So like, you have to kind of let people know what you're doing, what you're about, and the more you let them, the more information you give them, kind of the more attractive they're going to be to you. And not only are they followers, but they become fans. I have a lot of, I have a lot of friends, and I know a lot of people that have hundreds of thousands of followers, but they'll never have somebody that like walks up to them and asks them for a picture, or wants to stop and have a conversation with them, because they're just kind of followers. You know what I mean? They're a presence, but to have a fan base is super important. So the jiu-jitsu community, they're fans. These guys want to talk to you. They want to train with you. They want the best for you. You know what I mean? You can definitely tell that in the community, they want the athletes to do well, to make the most money, to kind of keep competing and keep having fun out there, because it's entertainment, man. And it's entertainment where we're not superstars, where if you talk to a WWE guy, you might be stuck up or something. I'm just saying this. I don't know, but we're humans, and we're kind of we're level headed, because the martial arts makes us that way. We're constantly humbled, so we're humbling to talk to. We're never going to be that. It's very rare that you have a grappler or a fighter that's just kind of an asshole all the time. We tend to be more calm, cool, and collected, because all of our energy, because we're fucking tired. Honestly, all of our energy is going towards training, so we're just chilling post training.
That means for everyone listening, if you see Nicky Rod in person, run up to him, take some pictures, say what up.
Yeah. Dude, anytime I go out, if I'm going to, I remember I went to Jersey States, and I did a post on my Instagram. It's like, yo guys, if you're at Jersey States, come say what's up to me. And I had tons of people, take pictures with me, say hi on the boardwalk and stuff. So it's cool, man. I love it. It's I'm from such a small town. Just to give you perspective, Jersey's a huge state, but my high school, my graduating class was 75 people. So it's nothing. The whole high school had 400, 500 kids. So to be where I'm at the young age that I'm at right now, is definitely kind of out of this world for somebody that comes from where I come from. Not that I come from anything bad, I just come from simple beginnings, and we're still simple right now, but I hope to turn this, whether this podcast, turn this jiu-jitsu, turn my life into something extreme, make a shit ton of money, and have a ton of fun while I'm doing it, and I would like to document that fun. You know what I mean? Eventually I would maybe every match I have, camera guy follow me where we make a vlog about that match. And then, every time I take a trip or seminar, same thing, because I do a bunch of awesome shit all the time, honestly. Like if I'm going somewhere, I have crazy situations and scenarios that I get into that just cameras don't catch, but if they did, it'd be it's really like a reality show, man.
Sweet. Let's think. So you see yourself being like a TV personality one day? Like, how big you want to get?
You know what? Not like TV. I think the podcast is the way to do it, because you're running your own show. Like what's that guy, Tiger King, right?
Oh,
so
man, Bobby
he
Lee,
had
bro. Shout out Bobby Lee.
If
Bobby Lee's listening to this, man.
So like Tiger or no, I'm talking Tiger King, the Netflix. You're talking about Tiger Belly. Yeah. So Tiger King, right? The Netflix series where
Joe Exotic, man.
Yeah, Joe Exotic. Yeah, exactly. So he was like kind of like the pioneer of the podcast world. Not that he was like super popular, but in terms that like he's an OG. Like he was doing the podcast, his own TV show, for like years before we even know who he was. Like just now he's coming out. You know what I mean? I don't know if he burnt all those tapes or whatever, but I bet you if he did it, if he kept that, if he still has those
rich,
tapes
man.
and videos, it'd probably be probably do pretty well in the air if it was a show. But yeah, like so he never settled and he kind of ran his own show. And I like the idea of that. He might be a little crazy, but he had the right idea. He was like, I have to get popular, and eventually, if I keep doing this, it's gonna catch on. It might not have caught on in the way he thought, but he got fucking famous, got popular. So I think nowadays, podcast is the way to do it. I don't want to work for anybody. So like, I feel like if I'm on TV, on television station, like. I have a boss. I don't want to have a fucking boss. I want to do what I want. I want to say what I want when I feel like it. You know what I mean? Let you guys know exactly what I'm thinking. I feel like there's a lot of obligation, like in reality TV, to kind of be fake or maybe be extra. And I'm not an extra kind of guy. I'm more of a simple guy. So this suits me. Once we get guys on here and stuff, it'd be good to go. And we ordered chairs, so chairs are coming shortly.
That's the big step, man.
Yeah.
That's step number 1, bro.
Yeah.
Something to sit in. So let's shout out some of our favorite podcasts. So we got TFAK, King of the Sting. Who else we got?
King of the Sting, Fighter and the Kid, Joe Rogan's podcast. Listen to Joey Diaz.
Hey, listen, motherfucker.
And what's Tom Segura and
his wife has one, right?
Huh?
Him and his wife have one?
No, I'm talking about him and Burt Kreischer. It's like 2 bears, 1 cave or some shit like that. Pretty funny, yeah. So like I've been listening. Like I don't have time to usually sit down and watch TV. Like I'm pretty busy. So like podcast is the way to go. Like I'm always driving somewhere doing something. So like I literally can't sit there and watch TV. Even if I tried, really, my fucking ADHD just will never let me relax. So I would constantly put podcasts on. I'm like, this is just a conversation. Just seems like a normal conversation that people kind of catch on to, and I guess that's the way to do it, man. We're fucking learning, yeah.
So who's the dream podcast guest for you?
I haven't thought about that yet, but I would definitely want to get on Joe Rogan Experience. I mean, I feel like that's the goal. You know what I mean? If you make it on there, would be considered you're doing pretty well in life if you get popular enough, you do something right to get on that show. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up right now. I'm pulling up back at the first time I ever met Nicky Rod, who was at a Kasai event, and so I'm doing all the interviews for the fighters. And what stood out the most, man, was Nicky Rod said something like, "I don't give a shit about the names, how good someone is. I just want to make as much money as possible."
Yeah. So they were asking me, what's my goal in the sport? Like, who do you want to be? And I was like, I don't think you guys understand like what this game's about. It's not about like, it's about winning, but it's about money, man. Like, you can be as popular as you want, but if you're only making 50 G's a year grappling, then what are you doing with your life? You know what I mean? What's the point? Yeah, you might as well get a regular fucking job and make that regular money if that's what you want to do. So my goal is to be the most profitable grappler that there's ever lived. You know, Gordon's at the top right now. You know, grappling wise and money wise, and you know, he's definitely paving the way for us to, you know, kind of shed light and grow into that 7-8 figure sport. Because for a few of us, you know, we are professional athletes. You know, we treat it like that. We train every day, all day. And this is the only thing that matters in our life. So, you know, for the ones that are treating it like that, we're making some good money. We're not making professional athlete money. We're not in the, you know, NBA, NFL style, but we're making enough we can train all the time. We can save money and we can have fun with life. You know, I don't have to worry about,
Put it this way, man, you guys make more money than 90% of UFC fighters. Some UFC fighters pull out 12 grand a year. Right? That's fucked up.
Everybody asks me like Nicky Rod, like, when you gonna fight? We love to see you in UFC. And truth is, like, I don't want to fight because I don't know if you guys ever seen somebody get punched in the face. That does not look fun. Like, I'm sure, you know, going out there and getting a KO, a fast KO without getting touched is fantastic. It's got to put you on top of the world. But then you go in there next fight and you get fucking slept. Yeah. Bro, no thank you. No thank you. I'd rather be the guy over here talking about the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, can you imagine if, like, you, Gordon, Ethan, like some of the 10 top guys, man, got together and said, you know what? We're not going to fight for less than 10 grand a fight. You know? Yeah. Then I think that shit's going to take over, you know, something like that. Like, I know there's a lot of UFC fighters talking about doing a similar thing. But there needs to be some type of, like, unions or, you know, the fighters have to start coming together if they all want to start getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, being a UFC fighter and you're making, you know, a couple $100,000 a year, that's not a lot of money for getting your face bashed in.
You got to pay everyone out, too.
Yeah, like, you know, there's no reason you can't make a couple $100,000 if you're a top level grappler, and we're grappling, bro. Like, we're playing a game. You know, this is I'm having fun out there. Like, these guys might get nervous, but I'm smiling before I compete. I look forward to this. There's a huge change in pressure and anxiety between grappling, regular competition, and then fighting. Like, you're going from an open mat, right? Worst thing they can do, you know, break a limb or something, and then you're going to a locked cage with somebody the same size, the same fucking goal, you know, is to kill you as you have to kill them, you know. So it's a completely different ball game. Like, not only the different injuries that can happen, but the psychological change that you have to have, the adjustment that you have to make to hop in the cage with somebody else. Like, I mean, you look at somebody like Francis or even me, for instance. Like, if I saw me standing across the cage, looking at me how I would look at an opponent, I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna try to fucking kill me. Like, and the only thing that's stopping him is this ref. Hopefully catches it when I get KO'd and I don't get hit again and get more brain damage, you know. So it's just never. It's been attractive to me. Like, as far as like winning, like it'd be great to, you know, win a bunch of huge fights. Be great to get a UFC title, but then, you know, obviously you have to up the training, but then the potential for loss, it's like, it seems like when you're grappling and you have an awesome win, it sticks with you more than like a UFC win does, because grapplers, they're like, if you look at Eddie Bravo, for instance, like, yeah, he had awesome success in ADCC. You know, he beat one of the Gracies. You know,
in Brazil.
Two of them.
It was in Brazil.
Oh, in Brazil. Yeah, so
yeah.
He won the Gracies in ADCC in Brazil, but I don't know if he placed in ADCC or whatever. But from my understanding, that was like his most notable win, and that's stuck with him. Like, he kind of made a career off of that. Like, obviously he's talented, very talented in other things, and smart enough to kind of make money elsewhere. You know, in addition to grappling, but yeah, you can kind of make a career off of just one major win. And I don't think that happens in UFC. Like there's tons of guys that have multiple, like, awesome wins in UFC, have held the belt, and they're kind of, you know, not that popular right now because I guess,
like Tyron Woodley, for example.
Yeah,
that guy was one of the all-time best. He has 2 losses now. That's it. And then people just don't give him the same respect as he deserves, you know?
It's fucked up, man.
It's fucked up, is right.
It's because the losses are so bad. Like, oh, this guy got you an arm bar, and then this guy knocked you out. It's like, it's a big change in kind of mentality and how you view that loss or that win. So the change in mentality and pressure between grappling and fighting, it's nuts, man. It's such a big change. It honestly deters me away. Like, And then on top of that, I watch Gary Tonin and Damian like spar every day. I'm like, yeah, I don't want like those guys are small, and I don't want to get hit by them. You know what I mean? So as fast as they are, as hard as they hit, like, nah, bro, I keep my ass on the mat. It doesn't seem that fun for me.
Yeah. So if everyone watching at home, I'll pull this up real fast. This is the Nicky Rod interview with Kasai.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Nicky Rod. That's right, the Black Belt Slayer is here to play ADCC silver medalist, IBJJF world champion, and your future Kasai heavyweight world champion. My style of jiu-jitsu is not your typical average grappler. I'm out there constantly going for submissions. I want to attack my opponent. I want to get on top, stay on top, and win on top every time.
Here's that money line right here.
Honestly, what motivates me in competition isn't really the big names I'm going up against or the titles that they hold. Man, it's the money. I'm here to make 6-7 figures. I want to be the most profitable jiu-jitsu athlete there is.
Too much fun, bro. I love giving interviews, man, because people always expect me to like talk shit about the opponent, but I really just tell them what's on my mind, and what's on my mind is getting fucking paid. I'm like, bro, they're like, oh, like you're here to compete. Like, how are you trying to win, or what's your goal out there? I'm like, bro, my goal is to get paid, homie. I'm trying to sub everybody, get this fight bonus, cash this check. You feel me? Like, it's not about I guess it's a little bit about the name, you know what I mean? Because the bigger win, the better. But like, it's about the money. Like, and if it's not, you're doing it wrong, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this, bro. I've interviewed since Kasai Pro 4, all the Super Series. I interviewed every single fighter, and not one of the person mentioned anything like that. All they said was, I'm an aggressive fighter. I want to do this and that. None of it's like, I want to get paid. I'm here to fucking represent the sport and take over, you know?
Dude, it was so funny because like last Kasai, my first match was Vinny, right? And he's like, in his interview, right? He's on the big camera or on the big screen, and everybody's inside the event is watching, and he's like, oh yeah, like preaching like respect. I'm gonna go out there and work hard, and it's gonna be a fun, exciting match, and blah blah whatever. And then he walks out, and then my face comes up on the screen. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this guy up, cash his check, take his chick, and we're gonna go. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm gonna win the wrestling tournament. So like, talk a little bit of shit, but it's fun, man. It's cool because people don't kind of expect that, I guess. Yeah. And it gives a little bit different flair, you know. Like, not everybody can kind of pull off, I don't know.
Not everyone can back that shit up, man. Yeah. You know, not everyone can back that up. And like, quick shout out to Vinny. Vinny's a really nice guy too. But
no, dude, that's the thing. Like, everybody I have to compete against is super nice. We compete hard and stuff, but I never had anybody say really anything disrespectful besides Cyborg. I had one time, but that was it. Yeah. For those of you that don't know, like, after my Cyborg match with at ADCC, he kind of like, as we were walking by, right, he lost a close decision, but he was like, yeah, like, I armbarred you, I should have won. I'm like, I don't know. I was kind of heated. Maybe it's not that serious, but to me, that was like fighting words. You know what I mean? If you say something about like, oh, you should have lost that match, like, we have to fight right then, you know? So he like walked past me and said this, and I was like, bro, like, we can go right now. Like, what are you talking about? We can have a rematch right now. And he was, oh, we're just friends. He gave me he fucking shook my hand and stuff. I was like, okay, I don't know where you were going with this little like sentence. Like, you definitely disrespected me, and I felt like I had to put my hands on you, but we did it, professionals, and that's the only time I've had anything bad. Honestly,
he's a nice guy too, bro.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. Just wasn't nice to me that day. I think they're all they're all nice. They're all positive. I mean, we're professional athletes. We don't have much to be mad about. Like, it's hard to be mad when you're your own boss. Like, I could be back at fucking Home Depot mixing paint, or pushing carts. Like, I'm chilling in my living room on a podcast. I've practiced in a few hours. Like, I'm chilling, bro.
Yeah, man, Cyber's a good guy too, bro. Yeah. I gotta make sure I can't piss anyone off.
Stay on the good side. Yeah.
And then, man, your second match, because I with Cyber, bro, was one of the fucking bloodiest jiu-jitsu matches I've ever seen, man. Just that one cut on his forehead.
Yeah. It's I have a lot of people that actually get cut in my matches. It's because how I explode, how often I explode.
Luke Rockhold, man, is another example.
Yeah, I've even cut myself. One of my first grappling matches, it was called like Rise Invitational, and it was called Rise Invitational, and I was like I think I arm dragged the dude, and as I arm drug it, I like passed his elbow by my face and literally split my own eyebrow. Like it was like hanging off. And I was like, they just kind of shoved it back up there. I don't even think they put glue on it, but I subbed the guy like shortly after that. But like the week prior, like I didn't get stitches or I guess I didn't glue it either.
Wait,
but
you glue it?
Yeah. So like if you're in a match and they have to, like for instance, right? I was in my first wrestling tournament in college was at UNC Pembroke, and in the finals of this tournament, I should the guy's on his knees, right? Like about to, I guess, blast double me. So as soon as he goes down to his knees, I blast double him, right? So I go shoot. My hands are directly like kind of behind his thighs, and my head goes straight to his face. And I KO him, right? I fucking knock him out with my head on the double, right? Guy's sleeping. I'm on top of him, and I'm looking down at him, and he's covered in blood. And the ref's like, calling me off him. First of all, the ref just called me off him. I was pinning this motherfucker, right? I blast double. He's knocked out. He's definitely pinned because he's fucking sleeping. The ref pulled me off of him. Both whistled, and they see, like, they thought it was him initially, that he was cut, but he wasn't. It was his tooth. So like as I blast double him, I went head first into his mouth, and his tooth like cut into my skull pretty deep, and it must have been like, I don't know how deep, but deep enough to where they had to close me up and tape me up. So they closed me up with some super glue.
No fucking way, bro.
Yeah, some like
super
metal
glue.
Yeah, it's like medical grade super glue.
Yeah.
But it's just regular.
I've heard of like Tough Skin, bro. That like that glue S shit, but I've never heard of super glue, bro.
Yeah, no, they used to, like, I couldn't get it out of my head for, it must still be in there. I still have like a little bump in there. So yeah, so they kind of glued that shut, taped me up, and then the guy woke up and we finished the match. I beat him in points.
Bro,
but
he finished the match?
That's what I'm saying. I thought, like, he's sleeping. I'm on top of him. In my mind, the ref blows a whistle because I was like, oh, I pinned the guy. You know what I mean? And he was like, all right, wakes this guy up as they're taping me up. They're like, all right, finish the match. I'm like, I fucking just pinned this guy. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh no, I had to, pull you off him because he was sleeping. I was like, yeah, but he's sleeping on his back. Anyway, so finish the match, right, with that, and then I get the gold medal, and I go to the locker room, and it took me a while to like get the tape off because the fucking glue and the tape was like meshed together with my hair, dude. It was a mess. Jesus Christ, yes, bro. It was no fun at all. But yeah, so going back to the Rise match, like I arm drugged the guy. I arm drug his elbow like right past my eye, split my eye, and they didn't even like tape me up or anything. I think they just let it hang, and I completely covered my opponent in blood. I Kimura'd him, finished the match, and then the whole week prior I was like trying to train with his eye, but like every time I did anything, like it would either the tape on my face would move or I just start bleeding everywhere. I'm like, fuck, this sucks. So I end up having to take I had to take a day off and then just train smart the rest of the week because like I couldn't take too many days off because I had competitions coming up, so like I had to stay in shape and kind of stay on top of the technique, still learning, because this was only a couple months, maybe 2 months into grappling, maybe even less, maybe like a month into grappling. So yeah, I had to stay on top of that.
Damn, brother,
this was good, bro. We're at 50 minutes right now, guys, and this is my biggest concern, right, going into this podcast is like I feel like I'm gonna have a problem talking about enough. Like I feel like at just one point I'm just not gonna have anything else to say and stop. And so, so far this hasn't happened, but I'm waiting for the day where we're just gonna have a big pause and I think I'm out of words. So we're just gonna keep practicing and hopefully that day doesn't come, man.
Yeah, man, we're just getting started. For everyone at home, we're really just getting started. It's number 2. We'll probably have a few more 100 on the way. So
that's the goal, man. Hopefully we just never end this podcast.
Yeah,
Nicky Rod All Access. Maybe I don't know. That's the thing, man. I don't have a specific plan. I just have an outline. I have an idea of a bunch of people I want to have on here. How I want the background to look of the podcast, and just little by little, we're gonna chip away at it and make it our own, man. This is my first podcast. This is your first time producing podcast. Yeah. I've done a couple with other influencers and other podcasts with friends and stuff like that. But this is something important to me that I think really can not only be profitable, but be something that I enjoy doing, you know, for a long time, man.
And I mean, also one of the biggest goals, man, is like you want to entertain people at home, you know? Like there's about 700,000 podcasts that are live right now, and you know, we're easily already top 1-2% as far as like content wise. You know, hearing from the probably the number 1 or number 2 pound for pound jiu-jitsu fighter in the whole entire world. Yeah. You know, so you know.
I don't even think I gave you guys like a full intro. Like if you guys are listening to this and don't know who I am,
wake up, bro.
Yeah, wake up. I'm just essentially I'm a regular guy. I don't have any crazy wrestling background. Like I wrestled in college for a year, but you know, I did a year of jiu-jitsu, and with that year of jiu-jitsu, I became one of the best grapplers in the world. So if you guys don't know who I am, you soon will. I hope so.
Yeah, man. I think your story too, bro, is one of just like a testament to you work hard at something, you don't quit at something, and you can progress insanely fast. Reach the top very fast. You know.
Definitely. I always had this idea where I would kind of find success out of nowhere. Honestly, like for years as a kid, I was like, I'm gonna be popular. I'm gonna be famous. You know, and this is not to say that I'm crazy popular. I'm famous, but you know, it's always the goal to. It's always been my goal to have attention of others. You know, so I knew in my heart and my soul that I was gonna have somewhere along my life I was gonna have a breakout that would lead to popularity or lead to positivity, you know, and a career that I would truly enjoy. So I'm just happy I found that, and this is not the end, you know. Like I can't see me ending with grappling. You know, we start with grappling, now we're starting with the podcast, now we're starting with the YouTube. We're just gonna keep it rolling, man. I'm a very opportunistic guy, so like if anybody pushes opportunities towards me, like I constantly take it. Like I remember I was at wrestling practice, right? Or I was actually at South Jersey BJJ, and we had a lady a girl come in there. Her name's Jenny Rose, and she was like an amateur wrestler, right? She does like a bunch of shows and stuff. Loves it. Absolutely, just a fan of wrestling, and she always wrestles. And she told me, she was like, "Listen, like I was bullshitting with her, like yeah, I like WWE, you know, I would love to do it." And she was like, "Oh, like literally all you have to do is fill out an application online." I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, like they have, just go on WWE.com and fill out this application." So I went on there, right next to her. I filled out the application. It took me 20 minutes, and like a couple weeks later, they get back to me and they fly me out to Orlando. So go out there. I have the tryout with like 40 other people, and all the 40 other people are same as me. They're influencers, have a great following, or they're professional athletes, or they just have freakish physiques. Like we got a few guys out there that they were just country boys from Minnesota, but they're 7'2", or you know what I mean. A couple guys were like 7 foot tall, Jesus. And we're like, holy shit! Like we didn't know you existed. Like you people were real, you know. So. So I go out there, have a tryout, meet all these cool people. Didn't work out, but like I said, I'm a man of opportunity. So anything I think can have a positive impact in my life, I always lean towards that. I give it a shot, you know, because you never know either who you're going to meet or where this opportunity is going to lead to.
Yeah, and then just to add a little bit too, man. I feel like what you're doing differently is really trying to create a brand for yourself. So most athletes are just going to have their sport as their brand. But I think a lot of what you're doing is that hustle 24/7 mentality, where it's like you're constantly promoting people to work their hardest, not to quit, take every opportunity they can get. And so I think there's even as scary or intimidating like a jiu-jitsu match can be when you're snapping someone's ankles and shit, I still think that at the end of the day, bro, it's a very positive, super positive message, you know?
Yeah, I think a brand of positivity goes a long way. You know, people tend to want to be attached or associate with something, you know, or find a connection in whatever it is. So I think a lot of people can connect with and kind of relate to positivity. So anytime you're preaching either motivation or determination or just in general happiness, you know, people are going to be more drawn towards that as opposed to, you know, anything else really.
Yeah, man, and this is a personal experience, man. Every time we've shot, it's smile on your face immediately. You know, there's no bad days, bro.
No bad days. If if you have a positive outlook, you're probably gonna have a good day. So I start my day with a smile, and a 10-ounce steak. So
Hey, there you go. And then speaking of no bad days, we got no sad stories as well. So that's shout out Paulo and Jao Miao for no sad stories. The OGs right there. Yeah, man. So we're about 55 minutes. Real fast, dude. Just kind of close it out. What are you predicting for that? Your Third Coast Grappling Kumite, July 11th.
So Third Coast Grappling, I have 3 matches. Roberto Jimenez, first match. Second match probably gonna be Cyborg. Third match probably gonna be Lucas Barbosa. And I'm gonna go out there and have some fun, man. I have a bunch of stuff I've been working on. And man, if these guys don't tap fast, I'm gonna have some problems. It's gonna be fun. I cannot wait to compete. It's been a couple months, so I'm looking forward to getting my hands dirty.
Sweet, bro. So, trying to think anything else to close out the podcast?
Yeah, guys, hit up the Instagram, Nicky Rod 247, YouTube channel, Nicky Rod All Access.
Just past 2K subscribers.
Yeah, 2K subscribers.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
we're getting there, man. Little by little, climbing the ranks.
We're about 60% on our way to be YouTube partners. So once that happens, man, we're taking over.
There we go. Once we get monetized, it's go time.
Speaking of monetized, bro, if anyone's watching at home, your sponsor, or Future Kimonos, whatever, Scramble, Polaris, I don't know, whoever else these brands are, man, hit us up.
Interested in sponsoring us, Nicky Rod All Access is in the fetus stages. We're just getting ready. We're just getting started.
Yeah.
Just getting growing. But who knows? This can take years to develop. Any kind of following, or in a couple months we could fucking have 100,000 subscribers or listeners every. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but the goal is to be the most popular podcast out there, because everything I do is it's to the fullest and to the best of my ability. So there's no reason why, if I'm just consistent with this, have good shit to talk about. And
for any, I'm gonna cut you off. But for any sponsorships, we had over the past 2 months alone, we've had over 125,000 impressions on YouTube. So we're a profitable place to put your content, man. You want someone like Nicky Rod wearing your shit. That's how it's
growing
gonna take
daily.
off.
I've built this body to be a walking billboard, so I'll wear your shit if you pay me.
That's right, man. That's right. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate everyone listening, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Yep. Catch you guys next time on Nicky Rod All Access. I'm out, y'all.